And you just watch the way Green Bay is getting started here. They're really crisp. There it is. You know, like they do in wrestling. Boom! There it is. Boom! Right there. That's a wham block. There it is. Show me the money!
Good morning, everybody. Put the coffee on. It's time to wake and rake and win together with the Fantasy Sports Corporation and friends. Don't forget to subscribe right now because you're already here, and we will be here every single Sunday morning during football season. We are live on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're scrolling. You could probably find us. As Kamish says about the like button, it's little things stopping you from doing it, but big things for us if you do. We're going to hit every single game and see who we can put in our lineups, who needs to ride the bench, where we can make some money. Let us know in the comments what decisions you're facing this morning, and we'll help steer you in the right direction. We got a star-studded cast this morning. Chris producing the show. We also have Jordan Thomas, Elio, Cricket from sportspicks.locals.com, where they turn the odds in your favor. We'll also welcome in a new face in David Zenz?
Genus. It rhymes with a certain body part.
What? How do you say that, David?
It's actually genus, although according to Jordan, it's genus.
Genus. And we're also going to build a DFS lineup with our resident expert, AK from the Millie Goats, and we'll have our roving collegiate reporter, Morgan Jones, in here to tell us the weather reports. I mean, we got it all covered. I also talked to Kamish about possibly getting an injury segment going. That would be a good idea. So it says right here, greet the co-hosts. How you guys doing? David, welcome to the show. How you feeling? You feel welcome? You feel ready to go?
I feel like I am out of bed earlier on a Sunday than I've ever been.
Then you're feeling correct. Cricket, how you doing? You're downright colorful this morning.
It's NFL Sunday, man. That's about all I can say. Saturday was a bust. Go Vols, fuck Florida. It happens, but I'm all right, I guess. I will survive. I've been here before.
Well, the good news is we have over a dozen football games today to profit from, which we shall. Elio, top of the morning. How's Florida?
Florida is nice and sunny, still hot as hell, but we're about to turn into that good time of the year, in a couple of months after hurricane season's over. So,
AK, you got all the ownership figured out and the DFS strategies?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah,
things.
There's
America's team 2-0, says Kamish.
There's nothing like getting your DFS lineup, your DraftKings lineup ready and watching that thing either get all the way to the top really early and then ultimately let you down. So that's what we're about.
Yep. What I do is I'll take a screenshot about halftime and send it to my buddies. Look how good I'm doing. And then I win $0 because the screenshot is a jinx every time, ain't it?
Absolutely, bro. You're
I still do it though.
Yeah.
I get it.
You're giving him a Shadur Sanders right in the eye, saying, I already have this money. And they'll say, no, you don't. The clock doesn't read 0. We got some great games on the schedule today. Bengals, Ravens. That's always a good one. A slobber knocker, if you will. Jags, Chiefs should be fun. Lions, Seahawks, I have a feeling is going to be an exciting game. And then we got the Dolphins in Foxborough tonight. Lots of injuries for the week 2. I mean, for a week 2, I think these guys need to play preseason. We got optimism for Kelsey, Andrews, Waller, and Breece Hall. So you're in tight end hell already. Temper expectations, they say, on Puka, Judy, Hopkins, and McLaurin. Likely back next week. Eckler, Aaron Jones, Christian Watson. Although David was telling me Christian Watson might play. We'll find out. He's still projected to score 11 points. Can't do that from the bench. I see 5 stars, 1 judge. What a great way to start the day. Indeed. I'm excited. We have 7 outdoor games today that we'll talk to Morgan about. All but 2 are in the early window. Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Jags, Bears, Bucks, Raiders, Bills, Chargers, Titans, Commandos, Broncos in the afternoon. And then, of course, Dolphins, Patriots. That should be a good one. That should be a good one.
Should be good.
Yep. Big test for that line of the Dolphins that pretty much protected Tua last week and allowed him to fucking have one of the greatest games by a Dolphin quarterback. Actually, one of the best games by any quarterback in opening day. So That's a big test.
466 passing yards. Is that good?
That's pretty
How
good.
much man coverage do you think Bill Belichick's going to run?
Well, Tyreek says he can get open no matter what, even if you put 3 dudes on him. So,
Well, I mean, who did Bill Belichick shut down in the playoffs a couple of years ago that was completely like non-existent? I don't know who it was. I can't remember. But
I tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't Tua Tagovailoa, who absolutely has owed Bill Belichick with a 4-0 career record. Nothing changes today. It's going to be 5-0 after this game.
Tua on the road is a different animal too. Are they on the road?
Yep, they are at New England.
Yep.
they are in New England.
His
Bigger
numbers are
upset.
nuts.
Bigger
on the
upset.
road.
Dolphins today or App State versus Michigan?
Zingers, that a baby. Get him, Dave. Get him, Dave.
AK, you were there on location, were you not?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
that glorious Sunday, we were talking about pre-show where we were. That's how you know it's a moment when you remember where you were. Top of the morning, Heavy.
We were it's a nice stadium up there. You know, it's a pretty place. Hey, our coach told us, he said it's the same, it's a lot more concrete, but the green stuff's the same exact as ours.
Did he go out there and measure the field like they measured the hoop in the court?
Yeah.
Man!
It was a similar movement to that. It was good. That was funny.
I bet that's your favorite stadium in the country now, AK.
It is. It's
he loves
phenomenal.
the big house. He loves the big house.
You never heard so many people go quiet in a matter of seconds.
Oh, that's fun too, man. Watching them just like all heartbroken and stuff. I've been one of those fans before. I get it.
Is that better?
My life.
I've heard athletes say it's better to hear the hush fall over the crowd than your own crowd explode.
I can see that.
Yes, that's a sound that wasn't made that I won't forget. But yeah, that was something.
100,000 people go quiet, man. That's an eerie thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the whole story after that was insane. Like
they went home pissed off. I mean, 100, maybe 200 TVs were smashed.
Yeah.
You contributed to the economy when you think about it. People went out and they bought new things.
That changed our university forever. Like it changed App State.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, it has skyrocketed since then. So
the house AK built, they're saying.
It's like the Soul Stone from Avengers.
Yeah, essentially that's what. Yeah, you went in there and snatched it right out of their forehead.
It always feels good to pay a team like $1.5 million to have them come beat you.
That's
crazy.
Good.
I'll never forget the iconic photo of like our captain standing right across the field from theirs. I mean, they had Sean Crable, Jake Long, Chad Henne, Mario Manningham, and our guys are sitting there like this.
Mario Manningham's big dude.
Mario Manningham, bro. You know, Giants GOAT. Great catch.
Yep.
Great catch. Bro. Something that a single Dallas wide receiver hasn't done in like 40 years.
Are we really
in a game that's actually meaningful?
Are we really
unlike a regular season
here? We gonna really talk about history here? I mean, if you want to dial it back, we still got 5. Y'all got 4. That's all.
Hey, first of all, we've won 2 in this millennia. You guys haven't even sniffed the fucking conference finals or whatever the hell.
I mean, we might sniff it this year. A 40-0 absolute beatdown.
That's what you're gonna
a hell
sniff,
of a
bro.
way to start.
That's the only thing you're gonna sniff this year is our fucking ass.
I love you, brother, but they beat you 40-0.
That's right, Cricket.
Hey, that's why I'm bringing the damn thing back, baby. I can't just stare Jordan in the face, bro. Damn Jets jersey on too to fucking.
I wasn't even going to show up today, but I could not miss this.
Couldn't help it.
All right. Let's get it together. Like we said at the open, we have 7 outdoor games. We're going to hit every single game this Sunday, but it would help if we knew what was going on with the weather. For that, we bring in our roving collegiate reporter, Morgan Jones. Morgan, so good to see you. How you doing? How was summer? Did you stay cool, as they say in the yearbooks?
I tried to. It got pretty warm over here, not going to lie.
Are you back at school now?
Yeah, I'm actually in a friend's basement right now, but yeah.
Just adapting and overcoming all over the place.
Trying to, yeah.
We have outdoor games today, about 7 of them. Most of them are in the early window. Ravens at Bengals in Cincinnati. I heard something about rain there and or sprinkles.
Well, let's see. There's about like a 15% chance of rain. It's not going to be terrible. Nice. It's just going to be like 70 with a little bit of rain, not too much wind either.
Sounds like football weather.
Yeah, I
they
looked
can throw the
outside. It
ball
looks
now.
all right here.
So we don't need to worry about passing yards or anything like that. They're going to be able to throw the ball pretty freely in this weather.
Yeah, I wouldn't think the rain would affect it as much.
Chiefs and Jags. For some reason, this is an early game. I think this should be an afternoon, like, standalone game of the week. This feels like a barn burner to me. What's it going to be? What's it going to be like down there in Florida by Elio? Is it going to be like 90,000% humidity?
It's gonna be 83, but it says it's gonna feel like 90, so you're pretty close. Yeah.
Elio?
I'm watching the games at a buddy of mine's house who's having a pool party, so he has like a nice setup outside and stuff like that. So I'll be drinking some beers and on the pool watching his 85-inch screen out in his big nice setup. So,
man, you Floridians got it figured out. You're living right
until
down
hurricane
there.
season.
I was going to say till a hurricane comes.
Hey, listen, man.
Hurricane season was over.
Unlike the Northeast, it was panicking about a tropical storm. All right, bro. We do that for like a weekend. Okay, so we don't panic, baby. We just party on during hurricane.
Wake and bake for Ruther. I love it. This guy gets it. We also have Bears at Buccaneers, another Florida game, so probably similar conditions. So
yeah, almost exactly the same. It does say there's going to be a little more rain though in that area. So I'd look out for that.
How far apart are those two? Jacksonville,
from here,
Bay.
Jacksonville is about 5 hours, I think, from where I'm at. 5-6 hours, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're going to have different weather patterns there. Commission says hurricanes are nothing. Yeah, you got to have like an F4 before he even pays attention.
He's talking about hurricane the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, that is
I could care. That is not a dig, because I'm not a root for any college.
I was a dig at the commission, not you. I got plenty of ammo for you, baby. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. You listen to the Jets this week. So.
What about this?
Go ahead. Sorry.
What do you got, Jordan?
I was just gonna say real rich for somebody who is going to be put away by the Cardinals, but that was it.
Yep, Cardinals +4 somehow made it into my contest picks. I talked myself all the way back around from Giants over to Cardinals. Why is this 4? It should be 7. The Giants are good, right? I don't know. We're going to learn some things today for sure. What about this noon game in Buffalo? Do we have decent weather for that? Because, boy, Josh Allen needs to throw some touchdowns and make up for those 4 interceptions last week.
Yeah, it's going to be about 68. It's not going to be terrible weather. There's no rain, so that should really help him.
I love it. Wheels up on all these Buffalo Bills players. Commanders at Broncos in Denver. 4:25. The only afternoon game that's outside. What do you think about what's going on in Denver?
There's no rain, 80 degrees. The only thing that's going to be affecting it is the not climate, but like, Denver, it's elevation. Yeah.
I've never been to Denver. Have you ever been to Denver, Morgan?
No, I haven't.
I don't know what this elevation is about. They say elevation sickness, altitude sickness, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing
I've been there.
About? Probably not. You been there?
I'll tell you what, it screwed up my golf game.
It should improve right?
That's what I thought. It should improve.
I mean, I didn't account for the elevation. I thought, this is a joke. No way. Boom. 9-iron, 30 yards over the green. I was like, well, that's going to change things today.
Yeah, that's no different than my golf game without elevation. So I care less. I shouldn't even go and play.
So you actually became too good, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, that's why that's why my score was bad. It was the elevation.
Be a question.
The Bengals, commission.
31 teams in the NFL scored last week. Who was the only one who didn't?
The Bengals.
There was a team who didn't.
Yeah, it was the New York Giants.
The Bengals, damn it. They were the one that scored the least after the Giants.
I think the Bengals were the only ones who didn't throw for 100 yards.
Oh,
85 yards. That's disgusting. I expected Burrow to start slow, but 85 yards. Come on.
He got paid. He was relaxing now.
It's because Myles Garrett's the best defensive player in the NFC North.
Shut
David.
your mouth, Jordan. That's TJ Watt.
He's got the best pre-snap crossover anybody's ever seen.
Yeah.
I do can swing though.
How about
definitely
tonight
swing it.
in Massachusetts, Morgan? Are we experiencing any weather and/or precipitation for Dolphins Patriots?
I think it's going to be a little chilly, to be honest.
Ooh, it's fall. Football weather.
Football weather?
Sunday night football.
Mm-hmm. Get around 60s, maybe high 50s.
It's nice.
Good hitting weather. That's what John
Mhm.
Madden calls good
Oh,
hitting weather.
No rain,
Not
though.
seeing
so
any
that's
breath
good.
yet. Not seeing any
No.
breath yet. When you start seeing the breath, that's when you know.
When the helmet comes off and the head is steaming, then we're playing
Yep.
football. Then
Or
we're
as
playing
Tex says
football.
on our show, when the doves are flying overhead, then you know it's football season.
That must be a southern thing.
Yeah,
they hunt doves like crazy down there.
Yes.
And we hunt everything, man.
It's like a holiday when you guys go out and shoot all the doves one morning, though. It's
Hey,
like there's
man.
all of a sudden half the doves are gone.
If it's
after
moving,
this.
if it's moving, man, it's got to go.
doves, quails, whatever the hell it is. But
So how's Iowa going? Are you playing softball this year, Morgan?
No, I'm on the track team now. No more
Ooh.
softball for me.
What
Nice.
events?
I'm doing javelin and discus.
Ooh. Oh, the two coolest ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up. Those are the two
Yeah.
coolest track sports.
Mhm.
Yeah, why like cross country in high school? I never understood what those kids were doing. Like you're running through the woods as a sport.
Just for
You
fun.
can do that. Why not throw something? What does a javelin weigh? Now I'm interested. What does a javelin weigh?
It weighs about 1.5 pounds.
Oh, okay. How far
Yeah.
are you chucking that?
What?
We haven't started throwing yet this year. We're just starting on technique.
Form and so forth. What's it made out of? 1.5 pounds? I expected didn't you guys expect 5, 6, 6 to
I thought
10 pounds?
I figured it's like a Spartan
Yes.
spear or something.
yeah, I thought. Oh man, I'm thinking like
Was it-
300.
It's like a carbon
Yeah,
fiber
straight up.
thing.
I got to ask this. Is there anybody out there, I guess you don't know yet, that is there like a Pat Mahomes arm angle javelin thrower? Like, whoa, that person can throw it from any angle all over the field.
Man.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, man. I ain't seen one of them yet, but I bet it'd be cool to.
Or is it like
I feel like if there was, he would be heavily recruited by the military.
Yeah, I mean it's like I don't think they have a Hawkeye or somebody like that, with a javelin. Where
Yeah.
you can do, like, a
Trained
bunch of different-
assassin?
Yeah,
Because it's pretty much this. Like, it has to be the same. I don't even know how to do it. I mean, if I did, I'd probably blow my rotator cuff out.
it'll be cool. You could do like trick javelin throws, right, behind the back, over your head, that kind of stuff, right? I mean, it's one of
Man,
those
this-
skills.
Seems risky. I like it.
Yeah.
The
This is
world
how far-
record, in case you're wondering, Morgan, the world record for women is 98.48 meters. So we need a football field out of you.
Yeah.
Bro,
God.
That's a lot.
that chick threw a
It's
javelin
Joe
on a
Milton.
football field?
98 and a half meters.
That's crazy, bro.
That is nuts. That's Joe Milton stuff right there.
Oh, hey, easy with that shit this morning.
Feel bad. I feel
He's
bad
still
for that
throwing a
woman's
mile.
husband.
Don't matter if you can throw an orange 100 yards if you can't complete a 5-yard fucking pass. Just saying.
I thought you were
Yeah, you
okay
really
with
feel
this. I
cricket.
thought you were going to be all right.
You're right. You're right. I need to draw.
That was my fault.
I need to reel it back in. I'm all right, guys. I'll get it together.
We got deep into javelin. Discus, you spin around once and chuck it, or can you spin multiple times? I'm interested.
Yeah,
in
what's
chuck.
the? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think it's just once. At least I just do once. I don't know if you can do it more than that.
That's
Get a
wild.
ballerina in there doing one of those pirouettes.
Yeah, the shot put, and the hammer throw. Those are the ones you can get it. You can get the cyclone going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably tear my ACL trying to spin that much.
Man, I'd
You
tear
know
stuff
what
I didn't even know I had.
Glitching out of there. Oh crap! Here we go. Here we go again.
I get
I walk-
vertigo. That's
Yeah, I walk around a pallet with some shrink wrap and shrink wrap something onto a pallet 3-4 times. I'm done. I need 10 minutes.
I mean, think about it. Try to
Jump
do
up
that.
and down on a trampoline. I need 10 minutes. I'm dizzy. I can't
Try to
do
do
it.
that after like 4 beers and 3 shots.
That's
right?
what I'm saying, man. At most of the track events, I'm only doing that stuff if I'm hammered.
Yeah, dude. Try to.
Don't take these guys' advice, Morgan. Well,
No,
thank you.
Yeah, I don't recommend it for your track meet. Don't get
No.
hammered before that.
Good luck this year, though. Those are
Fuck
2
it,
big
do it.
events.
Let's run it, Morgan. Let's see what happens. What's the
Oh,
worst
boy.
that can happen?
And if you do, let us know because we're definitely watching.
Oh yeah,
I'll let you
we'll
know.
stream that.
I'll let you know.
Nice. Thank you for your reports, Morgan. Keep us posted on the javelin and discus. We are going to ask every single week.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
See ya.
She's awesome. Morgan is the best. We will have her every week. And when winter hits and we got like snow, wind, stuff like that, Morgan is going to be invaluable. Does that mean infinitely valuable? I think so. All right. Football games. Ravens, Bengals. Bengals -3, total of 46. Mark Andrews practiced in full on Friday. So have fun with that. Joe Burrow facing a depleted Baltimore secondary after throwing for just 85 yards in week 1. None of those yards went to T. Higgins despite 8 targets. Only 2 of those balls really got close to him. Jamar Chase, I checked. He's played the Ravens 4 times. He's never had fewer than 7 receptions. He's gone over 100 yards twice. He's gone over 200 yards once. Mixon, you're starting. Ravens allowed 38 yards on 11 carries to Dameon Pierce last week. So I don't know. Keep that in mind. Are you starting either of these Ravens running backs, Gus Edwards or Justice Hill?
I don't think so, man.
I mean, yeah, no, unless you absolutely have to and you don't have anything else. And I'm not even in DFS in my book.
Yeah, no.
When you play in as many leagues as I do, you're starting both of those boys somewhere, but I'm trying not to.
No, I looked at all mine and I got some losses this week, but yeah, I don't think I'm there yet. I'm down at the Justice, even though I did pick up Justice Hill though, just for like blocking purposes or whatever.
I think he's the one to pick up. If you're gonna
Fantasy blocking purposes. I love to hear that.
Yeah, already in week 2, we're throwing blocks.
Hey man, if you don't practice, bro, you're not gonna get good at it as the season progresses. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They're projected less than 1% ownership in DFS, which would be for me like
Millie Maker.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to coach me up in this AK, man. That's what I'm looking for. Those 1% guys and stuff, man, to really separate myself. I guess.
Is his prop set at 45 yards, Gus Edwards?
I'm not sure. I didn't look.
I'm looking up the app. I think it's 45 yards. I'm looking at that app right now. So you got a guy who's less than 1% owned in DFS, 45 yards. They didn't bet on him to score a touchdown in Gus Edwards. So it's like, no, normal, never.
36.5.
30. There you go. Okay. Then
That's
DFS,
what I
you're like,
there.
but anyways, there's a whole different way you could go with all this stuff.
Yeah,
so.
It's
Zay
crazy.
Flowers in the lineup for sure after last week.
Of course,
right?
brother.
So it's really just Lamar, Flowers, and Andrews if he plays. You can't depend on Isaiah Likely if Andrews doesn't play. He showed us that last week. I have a very complex relationship with Isaiah Likely. If you click on him in our Dynasty League, it just says added by Eric, dropped by Eric, added by Eric, dropped by Eric, added by Eric, dropped by Eric. And it never once has worked out.
You keep thinking he's going to figure it out, man. I don't believe. You talk about these running backs up here, man. For about 3 years now, we've been dealing with a running back with committee up there.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins has gone down again. I hate it for that guy. I really feel him for that guy. He's had some real tough luck since he got in the league. But I don't think you can trust either one of these guys outside of DFS. Like AK said, maybe with the 1% there, try to get you a contest separator if they wind up having a big day. But if you're in any kind of season-long fantasy, man, I don't think you can if any of these guys. If those are your options, you probably got a rough season ahead of you anyway, man.
Yeah, I think so. It's not like David and I were talking about pre-show. Just don't draft Ravens. Like it's a difficult
Probably your
life.
best bet.
I mean, they do have one of the best running backs in the league, Lamar Jackson. So I mean, you're going to get 60 or 80 yards from him today. So
who might play 12 games?
Yeah. So,
but those 12 games, he's balling.
Yeah, he balls out. I mean, except for last week. But
I was like, easy guys. I do have him.
Week, he was rusty. He was rusty, man. He was rusty. You need to get the rust off.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a better day today.
Lamar Jackson also around 1%.
Him,
really?
I'm spreading around.
Well, now I'm in. If I'm gonna have Lamar and 99 other dudes aren't gonna have Lamar, I like having that little bit of leverage.
Mm-hmm.
So there's leverage to be made this weekend. It's just how much leverage do you want?
Yeah, because you can 1% yourself right into last place.
Here's the crazy thing about DFS, man. It's such a bunch of different ways, especially the GPP tournaments, right? When you play GPP, those are the ones that are the most volatile, if you want to say. And it's if it was an exact form, dude, Matthew Berry would be winning every Millie Maker in the world, every fantasy league in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a hard thing to predict, man. You know what I mean? You could just try to do your best to figure out who's
Yes.
going to be list owned. It's hard.
That's all we can ask from you, man. Is you do your best. That's it.
It's hard.
That
It's
shit
hard,
is
man.
35 to 40% luck, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Oh no, absolutely.
Seahawks, Lions minus 4.5 now, total of 47 as of last night. Lions just beat the Chiefs. Let's see what they do now. Seattle underperformed at home. Now they go to a raucous Ford Field. CJ Gardner-Johnson instructed all the fans to buy blue ski masks, which I don't think that's a good idea in Detroit to have 50,000 people walk around with ski masks on. I think some bad things are going to occur, but maybe also for Seattle. Obvious starts are Amon-Ra, Gibbs, and Metcalf. Are we starting Laporta, Montgomery, Kenneth Walker? Yes. What about Sam Laporta? I liked what I saw from him last week.
I think if you're not starting him, man, you better stash him somewhere. I think he had an 81% snap share last week. This guy's going to be a big part of this offense going forward. Probably going to get quite a bit of volume. Looked good last week in spots. And if he can just get downfield a little bit, man, kind of shorter passes that he had last week. Not a whole lot of big play ability. But if they start working him in the red zone a little bit there, I think this guy could wind up being a fantasy asset.
That's all you need for a tight end is involvement. Look who's here, Cricket. Patriot 4165.
My guy. Good morning, sir.
Yep. We actually added a contest entry for him yesterday. He's such a real one.
He's an OG, man. He's here every single day. So, yeah, he got him a free contest entry yesterday.
Get Jahmyr Gibbs the ball.
Yeah.
Period.
Thank you.
He's
Jahmyr
really
on the wall. Who's going to get the freaking ball? Jahmyr Gibbs. Give it to him.
He's cheap too, man.
As long as they keep winning by running it with Montgomery, though, I mean, keep those legs fresh because the Lions actually may be going somewhere this year. So as much as I hate it for my fantasy teams, philosophically, I do kind of get what Campbell's doing there.
I think it was smart probably to minimize the rookie's involvement at the Chiefs. Like, we need everybody sharp. We can't afford rookie mistakes today if we're going to win this game. But now we're going back home to face the Seattle Seahawks with a depleted offensive line. Maybe Hutchinson gets them a couple times. I think Gibbs takes a screen pass to the house today, and we find out who Jahmyr Gibbs truly is.
AK, does he seem to be? I think he's going to be chalk in a lot of lineups today on DFS because he's
Jahmyr
so
Gibbs?
cheap, man. Yeah, he's so cheap.
Let's take a gander.
Take a gander there. I think if a lot of people are going to reach that because he's really priced at a nice amount where it brings up high value.
David Montgomery continued to haunt me in fantasy. He's haunted me for years. Doesn't matter if I have him. I'm playing against him. It doesn't matter. That guy's going on the no bet list because he does nothing but torture me.
David Montgomery is projected 21.5%.
That's pretty high.
Jahmyr Gibbs is 9. Jahmyr Gibbs is right
That's
under
it?
9.
Wow.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, I built some lineups on FanDuel today, so because that's pretty much what I use. And I have Jahmyr Gibbs spread around quite a bit in the 10 lineups I'm building.
The casual football fan is probably looking at the box score and they're saying, well, rookie running back, Lions running backs never, they're thinking about Kerryon Johnson. Like, this never works out.
This is one of the games that we actually picked out that J-Vi gave. He said the over-under is 47. Detroit's favored by 6. So, but on both sides of the ball, when you look at the percentages, there's some plays to be made here.
It's
like
a good
Goff
game
and
script, right?
Yeah, Goff and Geno are not particularly popular.
Goff has been playing well since like week 9 of last year. So
yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, you could put him and Jahmyr Gibbs in the lineup. If he takes that screen pass to the house, boom, you got a leg up.
And also on the other side, I mean, Geno, like you said, had a bad week last week. That's why people are staying away from him. But people forget about Tyler Lockett, who's probably not going to be on high either. And he's one of those guys that, one pass, 45 yards, touchdown, because that's what he does. And
Lockett on turf.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
The man gets open.
Yeah,
like
listen,
that game.
if I leave Lockett on my bench, he'll get 3 touchdowns.
Facts.
1%.
1%.
Yeah.
He is one of those guys that's tough to figure out.
That's one of my games. That's what I actually concentrated on that. I got Lions and I got like 5 players over. I mean, like 4. I got the stacks with Gaff and Amon and Jahmyr in there, and I think I did Lockett and Geno on another side. So, I mean, I built 2 lineups with both quarterbacks.
Yeah, David Montgomery and Tyler Lockett can go on vacation together, man. They just need to get on out of here. Both of them haunt me every
It's
single week in fantasy.
messing with GSN's mojo, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JSN's.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Speaking of not having nice things, Colts at Texans. Texans, I believe, -1, total of 39.
Yeah.
What are we even doing with this gross, disgusting game? Quentin Nelson didn't practice all week, then had a limited practice on Friday. So I don't know if he's the kind of guy who plays after something like that or not. Laramie Tunsil and Jimmy Ward did not practice Friday at all for Houston. John Mechie cleared, will make his NFL debut today. I'm excited to see that.
Nice.
Texans let the slot wide receiver burn him last week. Is Josh Downs maybe a sneaky DFS type dude?
Mm.
I don't know, man. I think
This is the game I like. This is the
This
game
is the
I
game
like.
you like?
I
Yes.
like Anthony Richardson in that position too, man. You know what I'm saying? Running the football.
I'm sitting there like nobody's going to be on. And it could be an absolute unmitigated disaster. And
Yeah.
it most likely will be. But if it's not,
Yes.
If it's not, that $3 is about to turn
Dude,
into $200.
Hey, bringing it back with Nico Collins on the other end.
that's
You know,
a good play,
exactly.
man.
You know what I mean?
Nico's going to wind up being the top receiver in that offense. Dude got 11 targets last week. That dude's going to wind up getting some volume and putting up some fantasy
Hey,
points.
even Damian Pierce might be lowly owned because again, and he's priced like also for one of those. He might be around the Gibbs situation there.
Nico Collins is 7%.
Yeah. Oh my God, I
love that guy, man.
And the volume is there.
I got him
there last week.
So many spots.
Yeah, I mean, 11 targets, you cannot ignore that. If you need a dude just on your bench, like you lost Deontay Johnson, missed out on Puka Nakua, I guess. Nico Collins
He's hurt this week too. He's questionable coming in. Puka Nakua.
Upsetting stuff. I don't want to talk about how much I spent on Puka Nakua, but he better play football pretty soon. My take on it.
You wanted to play this week because you spent the money this past week. So you wanted to play today.
Yeah, you got to play him for Cooper Kupp gets back, man.
Yeah, bro, I mean, that's.
I don't know if Cooper Kupp's coming back. Maybe week 10, week 12. He had to go see another doctor about his hamstring. That's how bad it was. That's never good. You got to go to a secondary location.
Yeah,
he'll come back late in the season if they pull off more wins.
Yep.
If they're still in the hunt, then he'll come back.
It's funny, guys. Puka Nakua has a lot of ring to like some nicknames, right? Like Puka these nuts, some shit like that. You know what I mean?
You can totally make some good fantasy names with that guy.
Dude, it's like right now, it's like I'm like when I ever play the team that has him, I'm probably change my name to that, right? Or something like that. I don't know, man.
Who was it?
Puka Troopas, but that's very rated compared to
Pikachu.
Yeah,
Pikachu.
That is a good one.
Man.
I mean, there's so much.
I thought I was good at puns until I met AK. I was like, oh no, I'm average at.
You are good
with puns.
Hey, that Jameer on the wall is classic, man. I like that.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of Jameer ones ready to release around holiday time, like Jameer Christmas, you filthy animals.
You're ready to print those T-shirts, right? I mean,
we can make it happen.
It sounds like $1 million idea, man.
It's the only kind he has. Bears at Buccaneers. Bucks -2.5, total of 41. Bears defense gave up 31 points last week. Then they gave up 7 on offense, too. Tampa beat Minnesota in Minnesota. Mike Evans missed practice Friday with a non-injury situation. He's got some kind of personal stuff going on. Kalijah Cansey, no practice. Neither did Levante David. So possibly some running lanes available for the Bears. Rashad White, I don't know if I'd do it. 17 carries for a whole 39 yards last week. I think Sean Tucker gets a shot this week. If they give Sean Tucker 10, 12 carries, he's going to do something with it. Rashad White under 14.5 carries is something I'm looking at. What do you guys think about DJ Moore and Roschon Johnson? DJ Moore, 2 targets last week.
He has to. I think he's going to be targeted a lot more this week.
I'm not
Justin Fields holding on to the ball.
Bears offense.
Way too long.
I don't know that you want any Bears players on your fantasy team. I think Roschon Johnson's going to wind up being the lead back in this offense way sooner than later. So I think you stash him right now because I like Khalil Herbert, but
me too.
He's just shown over and over when he becomes the guy, he just doesn't get the same productivity as he does when he's filling those spots for somebody that's injured. And I think they're looking at their future at running back. It's going to be Roschon Johnson. I think he's going to be the lead back in this offense way sooner than later.
Roschon was arguably the only bright spot in that game against Green Bay last week.
Roschon's good, except he sat behind Bijan. in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why nobody remembers that guy, man, because he'd been sitting back behind that stud the whole time. But anytime he would step in out in Texas, he also had 150 yards in a game and stuff. So, I mean, that guy can play for sure. He's just been in his shadow forever.
Yep. That just keeps the mileage down. You know, he was good enough to get a full ride to Texas and make the squad as a running back. And then he just
saying, man, the guy can
didn't
play.
have to work hard.
And he played well with Texas. Like, make no mistake about it.
Oh, yeah.
He would have tore it up had Bijan not been in that backfield. And anytime they needed that hard yard, it was always Roschon.
Yep. Yep. He's a big dude. He's bigger than Khalil Herbert. He catches the ball a little better. I like Herbert a lot. I think he's a good player. They have two very solid running backs. But like you said, anytime he gets the reins and he's the guy, it's like 15 carries for 47 yards.
The whole offense is a problem, man. I mean, it's like you got some nice shiny cars and shit, fast, but
someone forgot to tell him that David Montgomery is no longer in this offense.
What I saw last week was the same Justin Fields that I saw last year.
Yeah, no,
I don't think he ever makes the playoffs.
He holds on to the ball.
State quarterback, guys. He was great in college, like they all are, and he's terrible in the NFL, like they all are.
I think
just like Alabama.
He will eventually make the playoffs for somebody as a backup quarterback.
That's fair. Yeah, it won't be his fault that they made him. I promise you that.
Yeah, he is the quarterback he's the quarterback you want to make sure that you know the difference between fantasy football and real football. And in real football, he's not good. Fantasy football, hey, because of the rushing upside and the touchdowns, everybody loves this guy.
Yeah,
Justin Fields is Trey Lance if Trey Lance actually got a shot.
Well, yeah, it's funny because Justin Fields could have been drafted by the Niners. They didn't have to move down to Trey Lance. They would have fallen in their lap at 10 or 12, whatever it was.
And then
that could have been the quarterback, costing him a lot less.
That was all part of the plan, man.
Of course it was, man.
Yeah, let's draft him 3 overall and just wait a couple years. We'll trade him for a 4th round pick.
Boom. Well, that's where
easy
anyway.
We're gonna do this. It doesn't matter because we gotta have. You guys had it under control. You have a 7th round quarterback the year after that anyway. He's gonna start and lead us to the playoffs. So it's
easy game for some folks.
I think if DJ Moore lets you down this week, it's really time to freak out. It's already panic time because the quarterback has shown you he didn't learn how to throw. So he wouldn't be the first wide receiver they brought in and paid who didn't do anything.
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, that's true.
Right on.
He was accused of sleepwalking through the whole game last week. I'm not sure if they're going to healthy scratch him or if he showed enough in practice this week to get the start or at least get on the field.
Intentionally sleepwalking like a TikTok dance or something?
I don't know. He wasn't blocking. He got blocked right into DJ Moore, and then DJ Moore was tagged.
All right, check
Jair
this out.
Alexander took them both out. Jair's not that big of a guy.
Who's gonna have better passing numbers, Baker or Justin today?
Baker.
Baker's
actually got wide receivers.
Well, yeah, no, he does. I mean, he used them well last week, and like I told you, he's gonna manage the game. They're not gonna ask this guy to go out there and sling it. If you look at last week, 61% completion percentage, and I think he attempted it only 20-something times. It was not even a lot. He completed like 17 passes. I don't have it in front of me, but he threw for 2 touchdowns, and he, when he needed to make the right throws, he didn't. So,
but the thing is, here's what I like about Baker from our standpoint. Jordan Love torched the Bears.
You're right.
Right? Jordan Love torched them on his first, his first real game as a starter. So I'm sitting here looking at Baker like, let me get some of that.
Yep.
Well, and he torched him with
100%.
he torched him with Romeo Dubes. You have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I mean, you're going to be fine against the Bears today.
Yeah.
Look, Aaron Jones had a monster game last week, and he's not playing today. One of those torches was a nice little screen pass to Jones for like 50 yards for a touchdown. So I like AJ Dillon, but I don't think he's not Aaron Jones when it comes to that side of the game. So
Jones and Watson are both out, I think now. I just got a notification about them.
Who's that? Say one
About
time.
who?
Jones and Watson, Christian Watson.
Yeah, both. Yeah, the new Jones was out. Watson is confirmed.
You're probably going to see a much different Green Bay offense today than you saw last week. It'll be much more pound the rock with AJ Dillon. It's probably going to be a terrible game, and they're just going to run smash mouth football back and forth. Probably, I'm looking at the under in that game. I think it's going to be a pretty quick game. Keep running the ball. That clock keep running. I think I'm on the under in that one.
I got Jones in a lot of leagues, man.
I love those low totals. What's that, Elio?
I invested heavy on Jones this year because of what happened. game one is what I kind of like forecasted for myself. He's going to be in both sides of the ball, man. And when I saw him go down this week, I'm like, oh shit. When his hamstring went, I was like, here we go, man. This is like such a high risk.
I think he's going to be all right, though, man. I think it's good to get this out of the way early because he usually does this every year anyway, misses a couple games because of something like this. And it doesn't look that bad. I think it's more precautionary, and I think he'll be back sooner and later.
We'll see a lot. We're going to see a lot of that this year with Jones, man. Hopefully same games.
Let's hit this game. Falcons beat Carolina without Brian Burns last week. Ritter threw it a whole 18 times. I expect more of that. Rashawn Gary and the Packers front seven will present some problems, I think. Bakhtiari all week, non-injury, did not practice. That guy just, I don't know. He just cashes checks. Aaron Jones did not practice all week. We just got word he's out. Watson out. AJ Dillon, this is your last fucking chance, man. Like, if you don't give me 14 to 20 points today, I'm Baxter kicking you off the bridge, dude. Luke Musgrave, that's a dude. Bijan and Algier, probably both viable starts. This is not the week to rely on Drake London. Jair Alexander erased DJ Moore last week. He'll probably do the same to Drake London this week. Word is we're going to get Cordero Patterson in this one. So three-headed monster back there. Call me crazy, but I think Kyle Pitts is a top 5 tight end this week. Doesn't take much. You just need 50 yards and or a touchdown. I think he can get those things against this Packers defense.
That requires getting the ball in his hands, which I don't feel good about with Desmond Ritter being the guy throwing the ball. So.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Go ahead. Cricket.
I've been drinking that fucking Kyle Pitts Kool-Aid for 3 years now. I ain't never putting that guy on another team. DFS.
Listen. You're wrong. You're wrong on this one, Cricket. Kyle Pitts is the truth. And next year, when they actually get a quarterback, I think you will see it. This is not a problem with Pitts. The dude was open the entire game.
I agree with that.
Could not get the rock. Like, Desmond Ritter is probably like not even a top 40 quarterback.
There was literally a time last week in like the third quarter when Desmond Ritter had more catches than Drake London and Kyle Pitts combined.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's not just this week, but I think every following week, the rest of the season, you don't put any stock on any receiver for Atlanta. All right, unless it's Bijan Robinson or Tyler Algier. That's the only 2 wide receivers you need to draft or pick up or start because it's ugly, man. This is like, oh my gosh, it's.
But we don't know. We don't know if that's Ritter yet or their trust of Ritter. Right now, they're pounding the rock because they can. And
that's
nobody's
what
been able
Arthur
to
Smith
stop them
does,
yet.
though.
I think it's a combination of both. They know what they have with Ritter. I think so. I think this is like
they have all these first round talents there. You know, they got Pitts, they got London, they got Bijan. They didn't need Bijan, but they got him. Yeah. I think once somebody finally stops that run game, then we'll find out what the Falcons are really about.
And
it's time for Taylor Heineke.
It's not going to be about passing, I'll tell you that much.
Taylor Heineke, I think, would be doing a better job right now than Desmond Ritter. And I'm just going to say this. When the Falcons do finally figure out how to get a quarterback on this team, this is a dangerous offense.
Everything else is there.
Everywhere, yeah.
Dude, Drake is nasty. Like you said, I'm 100% on board. The fact that, it's the quarterback. I mean, we've seen it. I think Marcus Mariota would have been a better fit right now if they would have kept him following this year than Desmond Ritter. I know it's the same.
They did him wrong, too.
You know? Shit.
They
dude, I mean, it's like, it is what it is. But look, it's they got to run it because they know that's their offense. You know what I mean? I think Ritter hasn't shown them a lot in practice either that, this guy's going to make sure just don't throw any picks or fumbling.
I will say that the happiest people in fantasy after week 1 are not the people who took Bijan in round 1. They're the people who took Algier in round 15.
Yeah.
And I just got a report that said from the rap sheet from the sleeper app was the Falcons will split carries between Bijan. The expectation is they'll split it between Bijan and Algier.
Yeah. Or you just draft them both and you got your handcuff outscoring your starter right there.
I think that Algier, he did get in the end zone a couple times last week. He looked great. Like I don't want to hate on Algier. I'm banking on talent winning out long term in that situation. All it's gonna take is a couple huge plays from Bijan, and it's gonna happen eventually.
I got no problem with
this game is one they were winning easily. I mean, that's not going to be something that happens regularly.
Talk about talent. Did you see that his first career touchdown? That catch, he fucking cracked the hell out of that guy's defender that came at him. Just one quick move. That's how quick and athletic this guy is, man. Quick catch. Quick
stats say 19% chance he scores.
He's gonna score multiple ways, I think, in this offense.
I got no problem with the weapons. I know they got the talent. They all got super high ceilings and all that stuff. I got, like Jordan said, I got a problem with the scheme, man. I just don't think a lot of these guys get utilized the way they're supposed to. Kyle Pitts has been doing it. He had that big rookie season, but hadn't done shit since, man. And I think it's more of a scheme thing. You don't have a guy, like you said, Desmond Ritter's not the answer, clearly. But I just have a hard time. If I didn't invest so much in Bijan, I'm actually trying to trade Bijan right now. If it's not a keeper league, if it's keeper league, I'm hanging on to him for the future. But if it's not a keeper league, man, I'm trying to trade while the price is high because I think they're going to do in this rookie season, at least early on. I think they're going to split these carries like this, try to save the miles on his legs. They don't want to get him banged up right off the rip. So I think they're going to split those carries for at least the first 8-9 weeks of the season. So I'm trying to trade now while the price is high before anybody else sees that.
And then it'll depend where they're at in the division race. If they're in it, then Bijan will get more playing time. If they're out of it, then it'll be like, well, why are we going to put his ACL at risk?
Well,
another thing I was thinking, this is a little off topic, but thinking back to the New York football field that claims everybody's knees and all these players coming out now saying we want to play on grass. Will we see star players come up with a hamstring or a migraine before they have to play on a shitty field that they don't want to play on?
Medically, man, I don't know where this is coming from. Look, if you don't protect the damn quarterback, he's going to get injured. Bottom line. That's what happened in those two freaking games. They couldn't protect the quarterback. They got to the quarterback. Somebody got injured.
4
I'm not a doctor.
3 hits, 1 sack.
I'm not a doctor, but my cousin does own a synthetic turf company, bro, where he installs synthetic turf residentially and also fields. And there's some studies there that is just not,
Oh,
and I'm just gonna say that you have some dogs like Quinton Williams and Micah Parsons this week who said, "Fuck it, I don't care. I'll play on concrete. Let's go."
That's right.
Yeah.
You can't protect the quarterback. Quarterback eventually will get injured. And you saw 2 games where they couldn't protect the quarterback. And it wasn't the field. It just happens to be that there were 2 fucking defenses going at the quarterback with bad offensive lines.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think we need a turf expert on the show.
They're in a.
You know what? I'm gonna have my cousin on, bro, but he's expensive.
That's right. Expert analysis.
I think a lot of it has to do with the load management wave that's sweeping too.
Yeah.
I think that's there's research out there that suggests that if you do not, and this is what I do for a living, so if you do not challenge the tissue to what its output needs to be, it will fail.
Technical talk.
It will fail. And there's ratios and there's ranges and there's terms to describe what that optimal range is for what's acceptable for when you're loading tissue. Like you cannot expect to not play and then go out there and try to play at 100%, 110% when you haven't exposed the body to that.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works. It adapts. That's what it does. So I think that's a bigger part, and they're looking for a scapegoat. Because, it's all about, I don't want to get played because I don't want to get hurt. Well, it's like, well, if you don't play, then your risk for injury goes up from getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, you don't.
Becomes a self-fulfilling
not
prophecy.
Yeah. I mean, so, and you see it in the NBA too.
Yeah. Thank Kawhi Leonard for that. He's the one who came up with that bullshit. He's the one who started all that crap, bro. Sign all that money. I need to play every 5 games. I need to rest every 5 games. He's been hurt more.
5 years now.
Yeah, he's been hurt more since he started load management than any other player in the league.
You see some of these teams worried about playing these guys in the preseason and stuff like that, but you're right, AK. You see them come back in, try to just come in fresh in these regular season games with all the starters in there now. They haven't had any time to warm their bodies up and stuff like that. So, yeah, you do see a lot of that in the first month of the season. These guys' bodies are just not
hamstrings, Achilles, like ACL is different, but it's actually called the acute chronic work rate ratio. That's how you determine the training load. So it basically says if you don't train at this level, you can't be there all the time. But if you don't get there most of the time, everything will fail.
Yeah,
well, most likely
your percentage of getting hurt goes way up.
Yep.
I love how many bases we have covered right now.
Dude, Wake and Rake is on a different level, bro. When you actually bring somebody that's educated, unlike any of us over here, bro, this is now you're taking this shit to the next tier, bro.
Yep.
You got tiers to this thing, bro. This guy's like tier 1 when it comes to this whole analysis of medical status.
ESPN ain't got shit on us.
Yeah.
Nope. Let's talk about this Chiefs-Jags game. Chiefs coming in motivated. They don't want to be 0-2. Jacksonville at home trying to keep the momentum going. CEH, no practice illness. You weren't starting him anyway. Chris Jones will be back. We'll see what shape he's in. Hopefully not round. Kelsey practiced all week in limited fashion. If Kelsey's on the field, you're starting him. Chiefs have won every matchup since the Trump administration. The last 4, KC has won by 7 or more. You can't start Christian Kirk, can you? He's clearly the wide receiver 3. He was not out there in 2 wide receiver sets at all last week. Zay Jones has that job, I think, is what the end of last season, the preseason, and week 1 have now told us. Like it or not, Zay Jones is the wide receiver 2.
I don't know, man. I think in this
100%.
game you're gonna see a lot. That's another game I like to target in DFS there, AK. Let me know because so much potential. The game script is about just points, and I think a lot of people are gonna eat on both sides of the ball. And Kelsey's playing, by the way. I just got an alert saying that he's
nice.
Good to go.
What do you think about your guy Kadarius Toney? I'm thinking Kadarius Toney first touchdown. Andy
Bum.
Reid's involved right away.
Bum.
Andy said he's going to let him play through it.
I'm so tired of hearing this Kadarius Toney shit. I've been hearing this for 3 years too, just like Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
that guy can't catch a cold. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney is first touchdown. He runs.
Yeah, no,
it in.
Kadarius is not.
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
If he gets a touchdown day, it's for sure on the end around because he can't catch anything.
The only way Kadarius Toney is going to take place in the first touchdown today is if it bounces off of his hands into a pick 6 for the Jaguars. That's it. That's his only chance.
And listen, they should have a freaking prop for that one. I mean, it's a possibility that something's going to hit his hands again. And
odds wouldn't be that high. You probably get like 10-1 on that because I feel like
I want $10.
I just really need
$1 million to 1
a
shot unless it's Kadarius Toney. Then it's a 10-1 shot.
You're right.
Christian Kirk 2%.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting in that game. I'm going to stack.
The Chiefs like to run man coverage, and Christian Kirk is a man beater. He's a man coverage beater.
And they're going to be focused on Calvin Ridley and Zay Jones after the big games they had last week. You got to focus on Evan Ingram too. You got Travis Etienne, big Tank Bigsby got in the end zone in his first game last week. So I think Christian Kirk's going to find his spot open in some spots today.
This game's going to be beautiful, bro. I love these freaking games, man.
It's going to be it's the only game over 50.
Yep,
it's going to be
51,
popular.
I think. Yep.
Yeah. It's going to
I'm
be
not
popular.
touching the winner. I'm touching if I'm betting, I'm going on the over on the overall score. That's what I'm touching that game on. It's pretty much. I think it's 51.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
50 anything. That's always a fun one. What do we do with these Chiefs wide receivers in season-long leagues where you have to put someone in your lineup? Are you putting any of them in your lineup?
No, I might stash old Rasheed / Jerry Rice, but outside of that, I'm not touching any of these guys.
Justin Ross, Rasheed Rice, Watson. These guys are all big potential guys. Might not get a target, might get 9.
They were the single hardest bet for me last year. Every week that I bet on football, I could not pick which receiver was going to be that dude that week because it was different every week. Like you had no idea.
Yep.
It was Blake
you knew Kelsey was going to catch
Rice last week.
Yeah. You knew Kelsey was going to catch touchdowns.
I bet on Kelsey all the time, but beyond Kelsey, it was rough.
It was a shit show. I like Rice though. I think Rice can be that guy that would get 3 or 4 catches every once in a while, every other week, and like he did last week, right? I think he had like 50 yards overall, but he did catch a touchdown. So that's your salvation if you have nobody else and who you need to start somebody. That's where you're at.
I made a trade with Jordan in a league where he got Amon-Ra from me, and I got T. Higgins and Cam Akers, and I dropped Rasheed Rice to make room. That week 1 result from that trade, terrible.
Not great.
Listen,
don't trade with the judge. And I just want to say this, while I'm not touching any of these starting wide receivers, I'm absolutely going back to the well and dialing up Jerick McKinnon again. Last season, the Jags allowed the 2nd most receptions, the 2nd most receiving yards, and the 11th highest yards per reception to running backs. Sounds like a Jerick McKinnon game to me.
I love that.
I don't trade with Jordan. I have a rule: never trade with Jordan.
Why is that, Leo?
Don't trust that POS. All right,
that's my problem. Is trading is probably my biggest weak point in fantasy, and I always go to Jordan to get his advice on them. So when he sent me a trade, I was just like, "Oh, it's Jordan. I'll help him out."
For the record, I thought I was massively overpaying for Amon-Ra. I just really wanted some exposure. I have all these damn leagues and not one single share of Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I looked at it and I was like, Cam Akers and T. Higgins, that's a pretty, even deal at least for Amon-Ra. But I guess it wasn't, David. I'm sorry.
Jerick McKinnon, 20.5 receiving yards. How does he not have more than 20 and a half receiving yards?
Over.
I think Gibbs over 25, McKinnon over 20. That's good stuff right there.
Got to put him on prop builder here. That's a good one.
Well, now
Yep.
you're taking out
Got a couple of
CEH,
different ones to have.
CEH ate into that last week, so now he's out for this week. I think, right? He's out officially.
He's got
Yeah,
some
he's
kind
out.
of illness situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
CEH is going to be playing in the XFL next season. So
Man, I will say this. I did not expect him to be as involved as he was last week.
Yep.
So,
No.
you know, for some reason, that guy's still a thing. But real quick, my boy John Bobs, he chimed in here, and I know he wants it. I got to give him a good morning. Duval!
Mhm.
I didn't know Clyde
Those Jags
Edwards-Helaire
fans are
was still in the
cool.
league.
Oh, I fully expected him last week. I sent a group to our message. I said, watch CEH get the first touchdown. And I'd be damned if he didn't show up on the first drive. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like,
Yep.
you play enough DraftKings and DFS, like you expect that. Like you're not going to fool me, DraftKings. I know I know what's about to happen. And then the whole Blake Bell thing. I was like, we're all looking at Raji Rice, but this and that. I'm like, Blake Bell's going to catch a freaking touchdown at some point.
Well, and
I had him in
everybody
the
was picking
lineup.
up that other tight end. Now nobody was picking up Blake Bell. They were all picking up
Noah
Josh
Gray.
Noah Gray.
Noah Gray.
Yeah, I saw it, probably every single league that I'm in, Noah Gray get picked up. And I think I saw Bell get picked up in one.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Yep.
Brody.
Raiders at Bills. Bills minus 847 is your total. Raiders went to Denver and beat the Broncos 17-16 on the back of Jacoby Myers, who is now in concussion protocol. Chandler
That's what you
Jones
get.
probably off the team. He completely lost his mind. Devontae practice in full. Josh Allen bounce back game. It can't get much worse. Gabe Davis, that's anybody's guess. What do we think about James Cook? It was encouraging last week. Is James Cook somebody you're flexing?
Oh, I absolutely. He
Yeah.
saw 59% of the snaps, 15.3% target share. He ranked 7th in yards after contact per attempt. Like, the James Cook season is a very real deal. This guy's going to be an every week start, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Cricket.
I just say a guy I think you got to stash right now is Dalton Kincaid. Saw 79% of the snap share last week, trailing only Diggs and Gabe Davis, and Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox had 84% share, but I think you're going to see that kind of. I mean, they're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. I think Dalton Kincaid's going to get some volume in this offense going forward. So I think he's a guy. I don't think you play him this week. I think you stash him down there and kind of keep an eye on him, much like Sam Laporta. I'm probably going to play Sam Laporta this week, but I think Dalton Kincaid, you stash him for a little bit. But he's definitely going to see more volume, and 79% snap share. He's going to get some targets in that red zone.
It's rough out here in these tight end streets. If you can find somebody who's running out there 70+% of the time, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
AK, I got a question for you, man. When it comes to defenses on DFS, especially GPP, man, I'm the type of guy that I would play the Raiders defense today. Just load up everywhere else.
Yeah.
Throw that shit in there.
I mean,
Get a pick or two. Hopefully you get a pick 6 based on how Josh Allen played last week. That's
Now,
where I'm thinking.
He tends
Yeah,
to
the
come back
ownership.
and play pretty well after he has a
Ownership.
week last week. So I'm going to be careful betting against Josh Allen this week. I think he might come out and go off, man.
I agree with Cricket on that. I would not touch the Raiders defense
From
today.
a defense
I think
standpoint,
this is going
also
to be a Josh
very lowly
Allen
owned.
game.
He's going to throw for 405 touchdowns or something.
the
All you need is
defense
one
is
touchdown.
like
3 of them are going to go to
8.
James Cook. Let's go.
That's right.
Surprisingly, the projection is that they're the 3rd most popular defense.
Wow. So
The
everybody's thinking the same
Raiders.
shit I am thinking. Everybody's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Crap.
saying. If they're that popular too, man, you better avoid that
Damn it,
like the
man.
plague, bro.
Everybody's
Yep.
thinking the same
Oh.
crap I'm thinking. Yeah, here we go. I thought I was ahead of the game this week.
This might be one where you pay up. Like
Yeah.
the 49ers are less than 1%. They're expensive. The Green Bay Packers on the road, are 1%. Like,
Yep.
there's leverage to be made. I made the point of like, I'm going to play the freaking Jets because nobody's even talking
Mhm.
about this.
That's right.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I hear, are playing the Chicago Bears this week.
They are.
That's
That's
true.
great.
They are the most popular projected.
And hey, my Buccaneers, man, our strong suit is our defense, man. The offense is where we're going to have Baker just manage the game and kind of get us through that thing. But the defense is borderline around top 10, top 12 defense, in my opinion, man. So that's the strong suit. So it might not be a bad play today against the Justin Field-led Bears.
And they're extreme. They're the most popular projected.
Okay. What's their price today?
3,200.
Okay.
The Josh
Draft
Allen fan club may have been sad last week, but it definitely gained one member in Jordan Whitehead. I think they said that he had a $250,000 bonus if he got 3 interceptions on the season.
Boom.
Cashing that week 1.
Pay that
man.
man.
Hey,
That's awesome.
freaking deserves it.
He's like, hey man,
Yep.
Josh
Couple of
Allen
those-
for the people.
Yeah. He's Josh
Josh
Allen's number
Allen
one
is doing
fan.
it.
Couple of those.
All-
Josh Allen was like, he probably wrote him a card and said, "Hey, listen, dude, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's."
All
Whitehead's
it
like,
cost was Aaron Rodgers' Achilles.
oh yeah.
No, all I know is that Whitehead went out and bought a dog and named him Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Just like big time.
Whitehead's sitting there like,
got
hey, so
bonus.
you guys just wire that money right now,
Yeah.
or we got to wait a couple weeks? I need that in my account by the AM, man.
Can I get a per diem?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, can I get a little daily?
No, you'll
allowance?
get it at the end of the season, Whitehead. We got to figure out some way to pay another quarterback because we all
not gonna
know
play.
Zach Wilson is not it.
I'd be like, all right, that's fine.
Oh man,
But if
Zach
I go over
attack.
5 now, I want it doubled.
Yeah.
Zach attack.
I think the Jets are showing confidence in Zach Wilson just because they know he probably won't make it out of today's game alive, and they'll easily be able to transition without hurting any feelings.
That and also they have no other choice. Who's the third string?
I mean, look, Joe Flacco's out there. Matt Ryan, the corpse of Matt Ryan is out there somewhere.
corpse of Matt-
There are better options than Zach
Phillip
Wilson.
Rivers is still out there. It's probably better.
Desmond Ritter's out there, and I'd rather try him out
Oh,
than Zach
shit,
Wilson, if
Desmond
that
Ridder.
says anything.
There are
I'm
still
better
teams calling Big Ben. I'm just saying.
They're
man,
sitting
look.
there wishing they didn't get rid of Mike White, is what they're doing.
Dynamite Mike White, let's go.
I'm telling you, man, they're sitting right now thinking, God, I think dude last week bet like $50 on Cowboys 2+ defensive touchdowns, and it paid like Will was telling me about. It paid like $30K or something. I think I'm gonna bet that shit again today. I know it seems weird to have that 2 weeks in a row, but this totally feels like a game where they could definitely have 2 more defensive TDs.
It's Carson Wentz still playing? Does he get
No,
picked up by a
he's
team?
out there. He would be better than Zach. Like there are at least 10 quarterbacks out there better than Zach Wilson that aren't signed to a team
But
right now.
here's the thing: they don't
Yeah.
have the cap space to pay somebody like $7 million, right,
Probably-
to come in, because that's what Carson Wentz is probably gonna demand, right? Let me host you
Yeah.
guys.
Hey, Carson Wentz, you want to play this year? Great. Here's the league minimum. That's how that conversation
He's like-
goes. If you don't,
Yeah.
somebody will take it.
Yeah, bye.
Hey,
Here's a great
You want to be a
roster
starting
for you to
quarterback
play with.
again? Here's your chance.
There's probably
again.
XFL.
Here's a great roster for you to play with again. See if you fuck it up now.
Yeah.
Again.
Please
Yeah.
fuck this up, Carson
Let's see if
Wentz.
you're gonna fuck this up too.
The best case scenario, like my dream scenario here, is I just really would love the Jets to go out and trade for Sam Darnold, bring him back in to
Yeah.
overtake
Oh,
Zach
God.
Wilson.
They ain't gotta let him go, dude.
Beautiful.
They're
Full
probably
circle.
XFL quarterbacks better than White, Darnold, and Wentz out there. Probably guys that give you a
Good-
better shot. They can just game manage this thing
Good
better
old,
than
good old
those
Sam
guys.
is backing up San Francisco, man. He's Shanahan likes him. He knows what he got with him. He could plug him in if Purdy gets hurt for a few games. That's what Shanahan does, man. He doesn't need elite quarterbacks. He wins without them.
Is
It helps
Tim
having the
Tebow
best
still
defense in the
playing
league,
baseball?
though.
Yeah.
Brock
We're
Purdy's
making
elite.
money over here. Will at Game On gave us $20 on Rumble. Hop over to Rumble. Let us know
Oh, shit.
what you think about these NFL games.
Brock
We're all
Purdy's
over the
elite.
place.
Number 1 QBR in the league.
Elite, he says.
I was
All right.
very adamant about Brock Purdy coming back down
look
to
good.
earth this year.
Yeah.
And then I saw week 1, and man, I'm,
Dude.
I'm really starting to buy the hype on this kid.
The Steelers are no joke on defense.
They
Yeah,
are,
man.
and listen. There are people that'll put up stats. He looked the part. He completely passed the eye test this last week. He looked great.
Yeah.
He
Screw that guy.
he commanded his troops, dude. I'm telling you, he just
I
started
used to.
came out the cannon, bro. Like, here's go play action bootleg, boom, hit this guy touchdown. I mean, it was like flawless, right? Like he probably was throwing the damn football a couple of miles even harder because he had Tommy John. You know what I'm saying, dude? So he probably helped him out a little bit. So
Came back stronger, man. That's right.
All of a
Chargers
sudden,
at
I'm the
Titans.
First round. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Titans plus 2.5. Both teams coming off a loss. Titans in New Orleans. Chargers at home against Miami. Eckler out. Is Joshua Kelly our savior? Well, keep in mind for one thing, these Titans locked down Jamal Williams for whatever that's worth last week. But Joshua Kelly has played 7 games without Eckler in the lineup, and he averages 8 carries for 18 yards and 2 receptions for 11 yards, no touchdowns. That scares me as a guy who picked up Joshua Kelly hoping to start him this week. Hopkins questionable with an ankle. This is the ride you bought a ticket for when you drafted DeAndre Hopkins. So
Mhm.
buckle up and don't complain. If he plays, you play him. If he doesn't, then Treylon Burks becomes a decent option. Does he not? Tajay Sharp, half the snaps last week. What's up with that? Is Tajay Sharp a guy we can flex, or is that a DFS play?
I think Sharp's a DFS play for the time being, but if he keeps popping off, I think I think he's going to get the opportunity, and obviously it has nothing to do with the talent of Derrick Henry, but I think the Titans are finally starting to realize, like, hey, we can't just give this guy the ball 500 times in the year and expect him to, stay on this football field. So I think Tajay Sharp is actually going to be a very viable piece of this offense.
Is this a nickname I don't know about? I was going to say, I think it's Spears.
Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Y'all keep calling him Tajay Sharp.
Oh, my bad.
Sharp 2 is going to be, with the
Yeah, you played off Eric. Eric totally called him Sharp first. So.
That's what I was saying. It wasn't all your fault, Jordan. We've
been looking at the Sharp betting all morning. It's on the brain.
I have Tajay Sharp typed right here in the possible starts.
Hey man, maybe Tajay Sharp's a plug and play. Where's he at? Who's he play for, man? Let's find that guy.
Listen, Treylon Burks last week. First off, there's the two teams that let up the most points, the fantasy receivers, are in this game this week. Mm-hmm. The Chargers and the Titans. And yeah, the Chargers were against Tyreek Hill, but they didn't have a running game to stop there in Miami, and they did. So they're going to focus on Derrick Henry. Treylon Burks actually outsnapped D-Hop and everybody else on that team. Now you got D-Hop coming in injured. I'm just saying, Burks was coming in injured in week 1, a minor injury in the preseason. Mm-hmm. So he was a little, iffy as far as that goes. And they were trying to get the ball to D-Hop, show what they had there, see what the connection would be like. I think it's Burks week this week.
I have zero faith in Ryan Tannehill.
That's
absolutely zero faith. I told my buddy last year, big Titans fan, I was like, bro, you're never, ever, ever winning a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill. The quicker y'all move on from that shit, the better off you're going to be. I don't care. Rebuild. Put Malik Willis, Will Levis, any of those guys out there. Give them a shot, man, because Ryan Tannehill is going to come out and give you at least a couple picks every week. He's always been that guy in the big game that just can't get it done when it comes down to crunch time. Ryan Tannehill's never winning a Super Bowl. The faster the Titans realize that. Good. He's good. Like he can get out there. Hey, the Jets might take it.
I was just about to say it. The Jets.
But besides that, man, if you're going to have that guy out there, give Derrick Henry the rock 25 times a game. He didn't even have 20 touches last week. Anytime that Derrick Henry doesn't have 20 touches in a football game, the offensive coordinator should be fired before he even gets out of the box.
Correct.
That's the only offense they have. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Good old Ryan Tannehill.
I do think Burks has made it into my DFS lineup later, though. Oh, shit. We're at an hour. We haven't even built our DFS lineup. We're doing a show this morning. 49ers at Rams. Rams +7, 45.5. Is Cam Akers the backup? That really upset me as a guy who drafted Cam Akers as my running back, too. I already dropped him, I think. Puka Nacua, bleak injury, just out of nowhere. He's out. No big deal. You spent all your money on him. Now you get to play that game. Ayuk 2 touchdowns last week, so we just start him every week because you never know when that's going to happen. George Kittle practiced all week, so you got that going for you. Trent Williams also good to go for this game. So the 49ers are ready. I think the 49ers absolutely lay the Rams to waste today.
Per usual in the regular season for the past 4 years.
Even when the Rams were good, this was a terrible matchup for them. They have zero chance.
Yeah, listen, I don't draft Akers at all. I actually had a league 2 years ago where I took Akers, Dobbins, and ETN, and obviously that was the year that all of them tore their ACL before the season even started.
Isn't that every year, though?
You didn't even like fantasy football after that shit, man.
That was a terrible
I'm surprised you came back to the game.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd have quit watching football altogether.
That was actually in the 144 there, Jordan.
It's funny that David brings this up because going back to that trade he mentioned earlier, man, for some reason I let my buddies talk me into getting one single share of Cam Akers, and I didn't even make it to week 1 before I was ready to bail out and trade his ass to David. So I can honestly say I have saved myself from any Cam Akers exposure this season.
Yeah, he's probably the most overprojected player of the last 5 years.
Yeah. It sucks too because I was such a big Akers guy coming into the league. Like the talent was there, but
I liked him at Florida State.
Had other, Yep.
Yeah, he's one of those that you've had a lot of sleepless nights. You had Cam Akers in your lineups over the last few years.
Yep. I'm not giving Will his money's worth. He tipped us $20 to get our attention to let everybody know that his best bet today is surprise, surprise, Tampa Bay -2.5. Despite Tom Brady's departure, he loves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm with Will.
I'm just going to take that $20 that he put in the
there you go, parlay it
coffers. I'm going to put that on Tampa -2.5. Now we got $38.
Hey, that's right.
And that's how that works.
Growing that account, baby.
We take that $38. We put it on Will's best bet next week. Now we got 50.
Will's best bet should be a new segment on this show.
That's right.
Yep. I think so. I'm going to add it to the rundown for next week. Giants at Cardinals. We don't have to spend a whole ton of time on this game.
Giants all
coming
day,
up-
bro. That's all you got to know. Saquon's
That
going
was
to
a-
go for over 100 yards, and the defense is actually going to play okay this time.
That was
I'm
a
a-
burn the tape game for your boys last week. Barkley, 51 yards on 12 carries, still averaged 4.2.
Mhm.
I think you're right. This is a Saquon game.
I'm going to pile on the Giants this week. I'm going to fade the shit out of them. They got a short week at San Francisco next week. They're probably going to stay out there. I don't see any reason why they'd fly all the way back home. So I think I'm going to pile on them today and then fade the shit out of them next Thursday, because that's just the way these teams do on these double back-to-back West Coast games and stuff. They usually stay out there. They're partying all week long. These guys, we know these guys like to party, man. So I got to feel that's not what you want to do against the best defense in the league coming in. So I'm going to be on the Giants today, but I'm going to fade them on Thursday real big.
Yeah. On
Isn't Las
DFS,
Vegas right between Arizona and San Francisco? So they probably stop over, party a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the ones you pair you stack the running back and the defense on DFS, right? AK, I mean, it's one of those close ones. I don't know how much Barkley will be on because he's high, and then the Giants defense as well after last week, and it's one of those that I'll throw that in a couple of different DFS lineups to make sure I have both.
And let's be real here. The Giants defense wasn't horrible last week. I mean, they held Dak. They held this Cowboys offense at bay. It was just you guys could not do anything on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm very much with you, Elio. I still think there are some dogs on this defense, and I think they show out today against the hapless Cardinals.
It's the only time of the year that I'm going to be this confident on a game, dude.
Giants projected 2%. Giants projected 2.5%.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, nice. I like that a lot.
I would expect more exposure there.
They're expensive.
I was watching the Thursday game, and I've never heard NFL announcers kind of stumble as much as when they were talking about the upcoming game against the Niners, and they were like, "Oh, Giants Niners," and they started to say this should be a really good game, and then they were like, they remembered what happened last week, and they were like, this will be a game.
Can't wait to see Brock Purdy.
What do we know about Darren Waller? Is Darren Waller going to play?
He's playing.
He's playing.
So it's Saquon, Waller, James Conner, and Zach Ertz. Maybe Zach Ertz, is he even playing? Didn't he get injured?
I don't know about Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz is too old, man.
I think I like a Bellinger anytime TD today, man. I think focus on Waller a little bit. I think Bellinger going to find himself in that red zone, maybe out in the flats or something, one of those play action plays where you leak him out. I think Bellinger going to get him a touchdown today, man.
Mainstream media doesn't want you to know that Dan Bellinger's physical profile is almost identical to that of Travis Kelce. So it's there.
He's a beast, man. He is. One of the most disappointing things of the offseason for me was when they got Waller, and obviously they need that guy in that offense. But Daniel Bellinger looked solid last year. I think he can still do something in this league.
Had he not gotten his orbital bone broken, he probably would have put together a real solid season. They wouldn't have even bothered with Darren Waller. Yep. Jets at your Cowboys, Jordan. Cowboys minus 8.5, total of 38. That doesn't really presuppose many points for the Jets at all. Breece Hall reportedly is on a pitch count. Is Delvin Cook a flex in this game? Garrett Wilson, you drafted him in the top dozen or so you're stuck with him now. Greg the Leg Zerloin out with a groin injury. I wanted to come back to this comment from Will Redding, Cowboys' first field goal. I like that. First team to kick a field goal is the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe the Jets don't kick field goals at all. Maybe Jets under 1.5 field goals, because it's going to be probably a big deficit early. And then what's the point in kicking field goals? You need touchdowns.
Do we think
Jets score
today? Period.
Ooh, 0 total points for the Jets. That's something you could probably wager on as well.
Dude, the Cowboys score on offense.
I think they'll score. I think Dallas is really tired from that ass whooping they gave the the defensive guys. They're still hungover from it, so I think they'll allow a touchdown, dude.
Does anyone know who leads the NFL in red zone targets?
Jake Ferguson, baby.
Hey, man, you've been preaching that.
I know that. I've been preaching that for 3 months, and he's going to get in the end zone today. I know I said it last week and I was wrong, but damn it, if he could have just got his hands on one, he would have been in that end zone. It's happening this week. Give me that Jake Ferguson touchdown. Sorry, I was wrong last week, David.
I hate the fucking Cowboys, but I love how much you love the Cowboys, Jordan.
Yeah, it's not always this good. I mean, they're my team, but it's not always love like this. I mean, I've went through a rough, 25 years or so. So I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here.
Listen, he loved him as much as he did last year as he did this year. Okay, let's not lie about it. I did a few shows with this guy. His fucking Cowboys were all over the fucking place. Dude.
It's easy to love him with Micah Parsons on that team. That's all I'm saying. 11 from heaven. Let's go.
I'll be honest, Jordan. I'm sorry, but I don't think y'all are winning the Super Bowl till Jerry Jones dies, man.
I cannot tell you how many times those exact words have came out of my mouth. And I will take it a step further until Jerry and Steven are both gone. It's not happening.
Well, he's salting the fuck out of his McGriddles, so Jerry's doing all he can. How often does CeeDee Lamb play in the slot? Because he's just going to get Sauce Gardner today otherwise, isn't he?
Brandon Cooks is out.
Brandon Cooks is out today, which, again, I think gives another boost to my boy Jake Ferguson. And I do expect CeeDee to see a lot of Sauce, but, Sauce wasn't that great last week. He's still Sauce at the end of the day, and I am probably knocking CeeDee down my rankings a little bit, but I still think CeeDee, is going to get his today.
See, did Sauce get lost in his own sauce? That's the question.
Got lost in the sauce, baby. That's one thing. Get lost in the sauce, and he didn't.
He's like, wait a minute. What's all this sauce around here? I got lost.
The Jets, though, they don't switch around their cornerbacks. The Sauce plays his side of the field. So CeeDee, I'm not knocking CeeDee down any. They could just line him up on the other side, and Sauce won't go nowhere near him.
Is Gallup still there?
Gallup is still there.
Yeah, hiding somewhere in the locker room.
He's going to be riding that high off the Colorado State game last night, and throw a little Gallup in there.
Ooh, see,
I actually couldn't find a single bet last night for Gallup. I think now that Cooks is officially out, they'll have some stuff for Gallup, but nothing. I couldn't find anything on any of the apps for him.
I think a super sneaky GPP play this week is Jalen Tolbert, who may actually, have a game for once in his career.
Now, Jordan, did you know that our buddy Dwayne actually coached him in high school? Dwayne Nelson.
Cool. Who?
Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert. Okay, so as he continues to bust, blame Dwayne. I got you.
Yeah.
I got 34.5 receiving yards for Michael Gallup on the offshores.
I'm taking the under.
Under, yeah.
Seems
Jake
like Ferguson, 26.5. I'd rather just do the touchdown.
Oh, yeah. I'd take that Ferguson over, man. I think they're going to work him in there today. I like what Jordan's saying with this guy. They're definitely going to involve him more in that offense. I think he gets the tutty, man. He might be a sneaky little DFS player.
Here is the good news about Jake Ferguson, right? He's going to get all the targets today, and if he fails again, I think the Cowboys pivot, and you won't have to worry about it the rest of the season. But I think he does better this week and actually, catches a damn pass.
Jake Ferguson, 4.2%. AJ Dillon, last chance.
Last chance.
What percent?
Projected 4.2. For Jake
Commanders,
Ferguson.
For now, they're the Commanders. Let's see if they change it. At Broncos, -3.5, 38.5. These low totals are gross and depressing. Jerry Jeudy expected to play. Frank Clark and Greg Dulcich likely out. What do you guys think about this Denver backfield? Terry McLaurin has
I don't know. I don't have a single Denver in any of my 15 lineups that I've created so far this morning, or another commander either.
Are both defenses startable?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sure. Defense, I did. I think I might have plugged in the commanders in there somewhere in one lineup maybe.
I think I'd rather start. Go ahead.
It's time to panic about Antonio Gibson. He was not part of the game plan last week. Brian Robinson even got red zone targets. He caught a touchdown pass. That's what really freaked me out. I drafted Antonio Gibson as an RB2 in some leagues, and he's not
get it.
That's what happens when you fumble for Ron Rivera. You're gonna get your ass shut down. I am not panicking on Gibson yet. I just think this team isn't talented enough to just completely push him to the side, but I don't really love him in this particular matchup.
Yeah, my Clay's real high on Brian Robinson Jr. this week, man. I think he probably is going to get more of that volume. Antonio Gibson's one of those guys that slowly continue to slide down this thing where I'm not going to trust this guy at all anymore. But I think the only play in either one of these games is the defenses. Probably Denver more so, being at home in the elevation and all that stuff. But other than that, man, I don't think I'm going to watch him play in this fucking game.
It kind of happened last year too. Gibson started out slow, but then he was involved more in the offense towards the end of last year.
And I feel like Brian. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry,
him and Brian. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Like you said, him and Brian Robinson, just two different kind of backs, and I think that they have utilization for both in my book.
as far as Brian Robinson, man, I get it. He puts up points, but he's just like David Montgomery, the younger version. He's not good. There is nothing about that guy that looks like he's a talented player. He's just going to get all the freaking volume.
I
It's
wish
like-
I had talked to you guys about this before I dropped Antonio Gibson in like 5 leagues for Puka.
I think you'll be all right. I think that's a good draw, man. You're going to be okay right there. Don't worry about that one too much.
Yeah, but you know
Antonio
what?
Gibson is going to take over that backfield and be the number one guy. If you have him on your roster, don't drop him ever.
Don't drop him.
Yeah, don't drop him. Hey, all I know is that look, Brian Roberts is bulletproof, baby. Okay, but it's gonna stop at one point. You know
If he
what
could
I'm saying?
just be tackle proof, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But hey, you know, 50 Cent, baby. He's a 50 Cent of football, baby. Come on. You know?
And the problem with Antonio Gibson, the only time he ever gets enough volume to actually put up any points, man, he gets hurt. The man just can't stay on the field.
Yep.
Elio, the
Terry
difference in
McLaurin.
Brian Robinson and 50 Cent is 50 Cent was actually good at one point. Just saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of
They
injury,
both survived.
McLaurin
They
has
both
that-
survived gang
oh,
shootings, bro.
Jahan Dotson probably flexible with McLaurin, not 100%, in my opinion.
Turf
Jahan
toes
Dotson-
sucks. For anybody who drafted Terry McLaurin, that sucks. It's going to be a little while.
Yep.
Yep.
Scary,
And
scary Terry's
everybody
production going to be
wants
way
to
down.
talk about Sauce. Everybody forgets about Patrick Surtain. That dude is absolutely him.
He shut down Devontae last week.
People are talking about him like he's the number one corner in the league already.
He might be.
He's up there.
Really good.
Yeah, 3 is nice.
Yeah, he's up there. He's top 5 or probably top 3 for sure, man. He can definitely, that dude can play.
That there's a solid draft pick. Dolphins at Patriots. 46.5. That's almost respectable. Miami beat the Chargers in LA last week. Tua threw for 466 yards. Tyreek had 215 of them. He says he'll get open no matter what. You put 3 dudes on him, I'll still get open. Sneaky DFS play of the week, Durham Smythe. He got all 7 tight end targets last week for the Dolphins. Are you impressed that I know Durham Smythe's name, AK?
Oh, I love that. Smite me.
Oh,
Whatever that
Smyther.
phrase is.
What's another receiver that they have? Craycraft? Whatever his name is, Crackhead? What is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
River
River Craycraft?
Yeah,
I
River
literally
Craycraft.
texted Coop in the middle of that game, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Because I feel like I know just about all the rosters pretty in depth, and I've just never even heard of this dude.
This guy hasn't been like released, picked up. He's it's a really good story. I mean, for the fact that he was able to score against that team, he's been like if you ever
He was with the Niners.
Yeah.
He
really was.
basically- He
must
basically
be Ben
took-
Skoronek's cousin.
He took Trent Sherfield role, basically,
Oh, get out of here.
Oh,
because Trent Sherfield's in Buffalo. So Mike
Yeah.
McDaniel brought him over from San Francisco as Trent Sherfield went north.
There we go. Now,
See,
it makes
so-
sense. It makes sense, man. That's what McDaniels does, baby. He just
Yeah,
keeps
am I the
recycling
only one that
San Francisco
thinks
49er players. You know what I mean?
Am I
they
the only one
released.
to think that the
Yeah.
Patriots have a chance of winning this game?
Yes,
I think
No.
they do. In
I think they do.
Foxborough.
They look good. Listen, they look good defensively against Philly last week. I mean, if you think about it, right? They went up big, and then after that, they shut them down. Now, like, the question is freaking Kraft Mac and Cheese Jones here is gonna have the same type of game? Is he gonna throw for 300 yards again and 3 touchdowns? I did not see that one coming.
I was
You know what I mean?
50
Week
plus
one.
attempts.
I mean,
If
When
you're
he
playing the
said-
Dolphins, he's going to have to.
yeah, yeah.
I mean-
So it's the script might be for him. And think about this. Remember what he said before the season started? I don't know if you guys caught that. He said that this year, and I'm looking at the fucking roster like I don't think so. But this year we're gonna play this like Alabama. You know, we're gonna let it run, let it sling. And I'm like, with what roster? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have the weapons. They did week 1 because he looked like he
Kendrick-
was playing in Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
I think
From an
Kendrick
offensive
Bourne,
side.
another 49er.
There we go. Born, yeah.
I think I'm on the under in this game, man. I think everybody's going
I
to be
don't
way
know,
on the
man. I'm
over
gonna go
after what the Dolphins did last week and after the way Mac Jones played. I think I'm on the under in this one, man. I think the public's going to be pretty heavy on the over. Look for a lot
Yeah.
of points. Then you got Sunday Night Football in Foxborough, division game. I think I like 46.5 under that right there. Man, that's pretty high for me. If it's closer to 44, I'd be questioning a little more. But, yeah, I think I'm under this right here.
So the under is about they have this one just looking from the money line here. It's about 77%.
On the over?
Well, 60. Yeah. Well, the bet percentage. So it's crazy, right? So 66% of the money is on the over, but the percentages of bet is about 77%. So it's one of those that, a
give
lot of
me
people are
that
betting.
under, baby. Vegas wasn't built on winners, boys.
You got that, the most of the money's on the over because you got big bets on the over. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I ain't gonna go crazy with it, but I gotta have a sweat, man. I can't watch this shit with no juice in the game.
No.
I'm definitely
DraftKings is 4, baby.
That's right. Love those showdowns, captain mode, baby.
Oh man.
Yep.
Nothing
I was
better.
just talking to AK about that last week. I love those because you can just make a weird ass lineup.
Well,
And
if you put-
sometimes it's gonna work.
That's like the other night, man. Thursday night, I shared it on Twitter, but I had every one of my flex guys just on fire. And I got AJ Brown up there just fucking chilling. And Rashad Penny cost me that, man. I got my anytime touchdown and everything. And Rashad Penny's holding on a guy that's not even close to getting Jalen Hurts. It's like Rashad Penny needs to go back to practice squad and stay there, man.
Yeah, what are we
Boston
doing?
Scott. Don't even try it.
Yeah. Until Gainwell
No.
gets back, right?
Only against the Giants. Boston Scott will score
Exactly.
2 free touchdowns
Yeah.
against the Giants.
Yeah,
So
Until
sure
Gainwell
we'll
gets back.
do that.
We were talking about this before the show, though, and I mean, everybody's all happy about Swift and how great Swift did, and I like Swift, but when you threw Boston Scott in, he was also ripping off 13, 15-yard gains against. I mean, I think he would throw, any of us in there behind that line, and you're going to be able to rush.
Yeah, we should be talking way more about how bad the Vikings front seven was versus how good.
Yeah.
I know the Eagles got a great offensive line and all that stuff, but yeah, it looked like anybody could step back there and get 8 yards of carry.
Right.
Yep. I'm finding a single entry $5 contest.
Let's
It
go.
is time. It is time for our DFS segment. What were we going to call it, AK?
The
DFS
tenacious DFS picks of destiny.
Yes.
Oh man, look at this guy, bro.
DFS
bro.
picks
Damn,
of
bro.
destiny. I knew
I've
there was
never
something way
done-
better.
Nope.
Holy shit.
I've never done DFS before, so I'm going off whatever you guys put in today. I'm going to go with it. So
You have to
Love
know that the first thing we always tell people is this is we're not advice.
Yeah.
You just thought you hated fantasy football before. Wait till you get into this DFS.
Again, it goes back to me. If this shit was an exact science, DFS, Matthew freaking Barry would be winning every million maker every week. Or
Every
have a
week.
nice percentage.
David, I'm just gonna say this: just don't stick to your normal draft strategy. Don't
No.
draft all the Steelers in DFS. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
listen, I
no.
did not do that this year. Okay, I jumped away from that, and considering I do that, I've won a decent amount of leagues. Considering I did that for so many years.
What David is telling you is he's a waiver wire
A
magician.
monster. He's a monster on the waiver
Really,
wire.
you don't go into a league with me and not see stuff every week on the wire.
Yeah, I like to have like 78 acquisitions by week 7 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always up in those transactions. You see, like latest transactions, you will see Jameer Minute in there dropping players, picking them up.
That's
I need to get with AK about some better Jameer names. Jameer Minute.
I will
is so
say I
fun.
just got for Roshan, I just got a notification saying that Donta is a healthy scratch, so expect Roshan.
Oh, it's
Oh,
time!
Ooh.
It's time!
It is.
It's
It's Roshan
Roshan.
time in
I'm
Chicago,
starting
baby.
them.
That's
I'm
right.
starting
Oh, careful there, big dog.
I'm doing it. Now, quarterback Baker Mayfield is all the way down here next to Desmond Ritter and Gardner Minshew at $5,100
Mm.
facing this Chicago Bears defense. He's not going
He
to run
is a-
at all for you.
Y'all got a lot more
Projected
faith in Baker than I
8%.
got, man.
Projected what?
Projected 8%.
Cricket, it's not the
So-
faith in Baker Mayfield; it's the lack of faith in the Chicago Bears.
That's fair.
You know what I'm
I'll
doing?
take that.
Yep.
I'm doing a Goff Gibbs stack.
I mean,
That's what I'm doing.
Baker is a very serviceable quarterback. You know what I mean? So he's
He showed
proven
last
that
week.
through his career.
Yeah, he showed last week he's going to do what they ask him to do. Not try to do too much and really make those big time throws. Just don't make the mistakes, man. We'll let the defense take care of the rest.
I
No
have that
price
one.
break
I
on
have
Justin
them in
Fields.
division.
Yeah, what happened with Baker and the Browns is called Odell Beckham Jr. Wherever he touches, he destroys.
Except for some reason, the Rams were. Just,
I know that's
they were okay that one time.
Yeah, but
and
they
he,
picked him up
because
after
it was
they
such
already
a it was
figured
such
out.
a limited amount of time because he still got hurt after in the same game and he was done. So it's like
Hey, man, I got to give a shout out to my guy Will real quick. I saw his comment down there about the Vols. They're going to win for the Vols winning this. I get it, man. I'm a little salty this morning, but I'm getting over this. This has helped me out a lot. I'm glad I got to get in here and get it off my chest with y'all a little bit. So I'll be all right by kickoff.
I think what I'm going to do at quarterback is Jared Goff because, like you said, nobody's doing this.
I like
And
it.
Jared Goff has performed. Goff
Man.
and Gibbs, people who do play golf are going to stack him with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not this guy. Tariq
Listen,
Woolen is going to be on Amon-Ra St. Brown today.
Stafford just threw all over that Seahawks defense with Tutu Atwell and Puka Nakua. So I think Goff will be just
You
fine.
could double stack here and be okay. That would still give you a little.
No, I'm not adding Laporta. That's Durham Smythe's spot.
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds. I'm starting Josh Reynolds in a league today. And that's something I thought
Dude,
I would never say in real life.
I think most of his targets are like 60% down the field. Like he's a freaking home run threat. Like you get a Josh Reynolds deep tutty, boom, he pays off already because
right away.
He's a good pickup, man.
He may not be.
I mean, if you're making a GPP, you want leverage. You stack Goff with Gibbs and Reynolds. Like,
what do you think of? And not for GPP, for actually late last minute injury, a couple of injuries. Allen Robinson or Josh Reynolds?
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds.
I've been burned by Allen Robinson too many times.
He started good last week. I mean, without Deontay this week, but yeah, those are the two that I'm debating. But I think
I'm almost more interested in Calvin Austin than
Yes.
Allen Robinson.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the other guy. I couldn't remember his name. I was like, isn't there another guy? Tavon? I wanted to say Tavon Austin. I was like, nope, that's not him.
Hey, so yeah, there used to be a Tavon Austin, little bitty dude, man. He could fly though.
He could
He
fly.
was
He
like
was a good
Tutu.
returner.
Probably a better quarterback still than Zach Wilson, even though he was a wide receiver.
Probably.
I like that. I like the Goff and the Gibbs. I mean, you can go in on that game. Throw a little Tyler Lockett in there. Maybe.
Now the Jets are projected highly owned, right? So
For
I wanna stay
defense?
away from the Jets.
I think
I really like the Jets defense this week just because I think I think it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys defense that's showing out, and I don't expect Dallas to have to do a lot on the offensive side of the ball.
What about Lions? Is that so crazy? Lions, Gibbs, Goff? Yeah, because I need Goff to be throwing, so therefore the Lions would be giving up points.
Right.
I think they're going to score a lot of points in that game too, man. I think that over. I feel like there was like 38-35 in this game last year or something.
You know what I'm
So I
doing?
think they're going to score a lot of points. I think there's going to be fantasy value to go around a lot of spots in that game.
Thinking about Titans at home against the Chargers without Austin Eckler.
That would be such a Chargers thing to do.
Yeah.
They're projected one of the highest.
Yeah.
Yep, they're on the bottom.
it's only-
Okay, so
I like the Bills.
original thing, like the unique thing to do now is becoming spend the money on defense, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
the Bills against the Raiders, man. They're 3,700, so a little pricey up there, but I think the Bills are going to have a big time game today, bounce back. Now, don't have a lot of faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. Jacoby Myers probably going to be out of that thing. He's still in protocol, right? He ain't going to play today.
Yeah.
So,
And
I
that's a
like the
1%er there.
yeah, see, I
I'm
like
doing the
Bills.
Bucks. Justin
I like
Fields
that
is
too.
gonna be cutting it
You know
loose
what you
today.
could
I'm
you
taking
know
the
what you
Bucks.
could do with the Bills is throw James Cook in there.
Mhm.
True. I'm kind of going the other way. I'm going with in mine. I got Josh Allen as my quarterback, and I'm going to put the Bills D in there. And I think Josh Allen's having a big day, man. I know you got to
too.
pay for him and stuff. I'll give you all my lineup at the end, but I think Josh Allen has a big day, and I think the Bills D shuts down Garoppolo and company.
Yeah. I actually built one in DraftKings this week, which I'm a FanDuel guy, but I got a couple of DraftKings lineups going in this week as well.
Yes.
I got some disgusting stuff here.
You just can't deny those cheap
what you
entries,
need.
man, for those huge returns, man. It's just so juicy in that thing.
It is.
Zay Jones 4,700. Doing that.
Smash.
I like that, man.
Now I have 14,000 left for my flex and my wide receiver. I can get some high
Go
end
ham, bro.
Yeah. Get them points.
high end stuff here. The flex, should we put Christian McCaffrey? How does he do against the Rams historically?
I think you're fine playing.
Dude,
Christian
he's not going to be owned much because he's so high price. I think he's the highest back, right? He might be one of the highest players overall, I think.
And as long as he don't go down, man, you're gonna get
How's
the points out
his
of that guy.
if he doesn't get hurt, he's gonna slap whoever
His
plays against.
popularity is the most.
Really? Wow.
Isn't it?
He's like what? It's insanely high though.
9,000.
9,000.
8,900 on draft.
8,900.
Yeah, you can make that work.
he's
I'm going to do
95 on FanDuel.
Bijan. After the news about
I was-
split carries, nobody wants Bijan, but I do.
I was going to say Bijan or Saquon.
Yep, I got to take one in the lineup.
Saquon's gonna have a big day today.
I think Saquon's the
Can you
that you're going to
afford
pay
both?
up.
And
That's what I'm
Saquon's
paying up.
actually it's about the same price.
8,000.
$100.
Yeah, that's what I'm paying up today as a running back.
Oh,
Yep.
that leaves me enough for Chris Godwin or Ayuk in my flex spot, or Debo Samuel.
Hey, it might be a bounce back week for Debo, man.
I like
Brandon
that
Ayuk-
Debo. I'm feeling Debo, man.
That's what I'm saying. Brandon Ayuk had his big week last week. We know how risky he is. I love that guy, man. Have been for years, but he's so spotty week in, week out. Had a big week last week. I think Debo bounces back and gets in the end zone a couple times.
And I think more people. You think more people are going to be on Ayuk than Debo, right? AK probably.
Here are his last 4 games. What do you got, AK?
Hold on.
Here are his last 4 games against the Rams. 11 for 133, 5 for 97 and 1, 4 for 95, and 6 for 115 and 1.
Give me Debo.
He gets
Debo's again high owners. The low one is Ayuk.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I would think it would be the opposite. Holy crap, man.
I think a lot of people are kind of looking at it like we are. Ayuk, he had a big game last week. I don't know if they're expecting
no way you can do it again.
Yeah.
The one that you might, I mean, if you want to get something from this game, would be Kittle.
Kittle's liable to come out and have you a big game, man. He wound up catching like 5-6 balls, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns or something. Put you up a big stat line.
Yeah, but Ayuk's the one that's lower projected. I mean, these are all projections. They're not.
That's true.
So
they're not accounting for all the late swaps.
So
DJ
it doesn't matter
Moore,
if he goes
that
off.
would be crazy.
That's right.
Yep, I'm taking Debo.
All right, you got it ready to go there, man.
What I have on
do you have?
DraftKings: Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Roshan Johnson, Jamar Chase, Zay Jones, Debo Samuel, Dan Bellinger, Saquon Barkley, Buccaneers. I got to get Bellinger out of there. I can't do Bellinger and Barkley, so I'm going to do Musgrave.
There you go.
Tight end. Boom. That's
young quarterback's best friend, the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. It's not just a legend; it's a real thing.
Yes.
You want me to give you a lineup? Are we ready for that?
Yeah,
man, let's do the lineup.
Whose turn is it? Cricket, you go.
All right, man. I got my DraftKings. I'm gonna go QB Josh Allen. You get him 7,900. Running back Kenneth Walker the third, 5,800. I like Jahmyr Gibbs at 630. So I got both running backs in that game. I'm expecting a lot of points in that game, man. I'm gonna put both running backs in that game there. Wide receiver Zay Flowers. Then I like Nico Collins. I think Nico's going to quickly become the top receiver. He's got 11 targets. I like Nico.
Nico Collins.
I look for Jamar Chase to have a big bounce back week against the Ravens. Think Joe Burrow going to play a little bit better. Jamar don't usually lay 2 eggs in a row, man. They didn't score a touchdown last week. They're going to come out firing this week. Tight end, I really like Sam Laporta right there. Flex, this is a little sneaky one. Tutu Atwell, especially if Puka Nakau's not able to play. I think Tutu's going to be one of the top options for Matthew Stafford. So I'm going to sneak him there. He had 4,700. I feel like I'm getting some value there coming off a 100-yard game. And that defense, I'm going with the Bills, man. We used all that salary cap up. So Josh Allen, Kenneth Walker III, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zay Flowers, Nico Collins, Jamar Chase, Sam Laporta, Tutu Atwell, and the Bills D.
That's strong.
I like that. I like that.
What do you got, Elio? You're on FanDuel. So
yeah, I made a DraftKings lineup.
Oh, nice.
I got a DraftKings lineup here. I made like 5 of them last night. So
Elio changes 5 a.m. just going ham on it.
I actually closed, bro. It was like 6:30. My kids get up early as shit, dude. So
that's right.
I play Roblox with them before we get on. So, first of all, I'm gonna go Richardson, 6,300 at quarterback.
Yes.
Tyler Algier at 5,500. Barkley, that's the guy I'm paying for up the most. At running back, first wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk. You just changed my mind, man. I went from Tebow to him. So, Mike Evans. Running it with the stack of Pittman. That's just one of those, long shots. Hopefully he does the same thing he did last week. Just catch a long one, which I know he targeted him last week and he seemed confident. So going with that stack, running it back with Nico Collins. All right. And my flex, I have Mike Evans. And then Jordan, I hate agreeing with you, bro, but Ferguson, I'm gonna change my mind. I had Laporta in there,
baby.
And because I am confident that this week we'll get a dub, Giants defense. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
That's a nice. I like that.
Nice.
I love listening to all these.
A lot of upside in there.
Phenomenal.
Everybody loves to feel great, man, at the beginning before they go on to the game.
Yeah, you get that same draft feeling just after draft day in your home league. It's just every time you do it, you're like, this is it. This is the one.
This is the one. I wouldn't make a single trade. That's how much I love this roster. I might not trade all year.
Get all you
David,
other
have you
idiots
assembled
who
one?
didn't play this lineup.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm working on one.
All right,
Dude.
AK, you give us your lineup. Let's see what the experts are doing.
No, I haven't made mine. I wait until the very last second.
Oh,
We still got about 40 minutes for those
I-
injury reports are
I'll
released.
give you
and
I'll give you
stuff.
a fan duel after David. So since I'm the only one that does fan duel here, I
But
got another disgusting one in fan duel here.
I love it. I literally wait until like 30 or 45 minutes because the juices are going. Like I'm
Yep.
feeling the pressure.
Dude, it's
So-
funny. I quit playing League 4 years ago for like a couple of years because I got tired. You know what I'm saying, dude? And I said, that's when I started. That's when I got into DFS. And then it was more stressful than playing freaking League. You know what I'm saying, dude? Because every
Absolutely.
week, the work that goes into, if you really want to, like, man, I'm already listening to shit on Tuesday, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
meeting, I'm like, crap, bro. It's like Fridays. I'm at work with my headphones on, man, trying to like listen to stuff. Yo, leave me alone, man. All right. You know, it's like, I'm
Right.
like, crap, dude. It was way more work than I thought it was going to be. You know?
Well, it's-
Trying to learn
you
about
got to
snap
stay up with the
percentages.
trends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at like these projected rosters. It's like you can get lost in that because like, oh, I can't play that guy because he's way too
crazy.
owned. Like, you know,
Crazy.
Well, if he scores 40, you're going to need him, whether or not everybody has him or not. Like there's
Right, it just kinda-
there's 2 or 3 players who, if you don't have them, you're out.
right. And it's usually the guys, if you pick the right core of players that you stick in every one of your lineups and piece together around it. Like you got to stick your flag in the ground and be like, I like this group of players. And so for the cash stuff, like you don't really veer off of that. Like if you need to make better than 50% of the field, but if you're like in a GPP, you have those group of players, and then you just get crazy with all the other stuff.
Yeah, cash is different, man. Like you say, it's a little more less risky. You go
Right.
more conservative because especially when you do, like you said, 50% of the field, or even when you do head to head, or when you do that, whatever. What is it, like 70% pay or whatever the case may be? The escalators
Yeah.
and the double up. So
Yep.
it's
All right,
tough.
so I got my first ever DFS. This is
Go ahead, bro. Let's
Here
go.
we go.
Let's go.
All right,
Pop that
so-
cherry.
All right, so I went with Baker Mayfield against the Bears, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, T.
Nice.
Higgins, Mike Evans, Brandon Ayuk. I plugged in Kincaid for tight end,
Mm.
Zay Flowers as my flex, and the Cowboys defense.
That's a winner, bro.
Wow. See,
What-
That
that's
would
what's
be,
gonna be bad,
$1 million. That would be
yeah,
phenomenal.
man. I see a lot of low ownership, man, spread over that bad boy. Might be your first and your last, because you're gonna win the Millie Maker, my brother.
Oh, you'll
Yep.
be
Just
hooked for
say-
life. That million will cost you 10 million, David. You win that first one.
You'll be making $100 lineups, man, from here on. You know what I'm saying, dude?
I gotta head out for the start sit, but I'll let you guys know how it goes.
You got it, brother.
I got
Take care, man.
All right,
Thank
brother,
you
be
for having
safe.
me, man. It's been great.
Hey, man.
Outstanding. Yeah, we're at a minute 42. We should probably
Yeah.
get the hell out of here. We got
Let's wrap it up.
preparation work to do. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been great. Once again, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's go around and everybody tell us where we can find you on the internets. Elio, tell us about Average Joe's.
One-stop shop, baby. Joe's_talk on Twitter is probably the only social media I have for the podcast. That's where you could find me. Again, try to put some picks daily right now on a weekly basis. Got a couple of shows going on. Cigars and Sports with a collaboration with my buddy Jim from Fan in the Van. We do that every other week. And then once a week, I hit my own live stream. Cricket was on there last week, and you're going to see him more often. So, hey, man, just follow me on Twitter, and that's where you're going to be able to follow me and find out when my shit's on and off.
Cricket's a great addition. After we had him on the first time, I said, that's a dude we got to work with. Cricket, tell us where you're at over on sportspick.locals.com.
For the best value in sports handicapping, man, come check us out over at sportspicks.locals.com. We got the great Robert Barnes, man. He's been crushing it. Hit another big 5% play the other night. He is now 7-0 on the year in his big 5% plays. We got a great community interaction. You can post your own stuff. We'll interact with you and let you know how we feel about it. Come check us out, man. sportspicks.locals.com, where we turn the odds in your favor.
And AK, tell us about Millie Goats.
Oh, the Millie Goats. We're the Millie Goats. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Twitter at Millie Goats. Instagram, the Millie Goats. YouTube, Rumble. We're a show that goes on live every Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern and
Great
every
time.
Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We basically on Sunday recap everything. And then on Wednesday, we talk about Thursday night football all the way through Sunday. We talk a lot of college. We're kind of all over the place. We got a lot of different segments, but podcast is just called the Millie Goats Podcast.
It's
a
like
couple
one of
buddies.
those shows. It's one of those shows that makes you feel like you're hanging out with your buddies talking sports.
Yeah, it's a cool show.
So,
Man,
go
I'd love to
check
come in with y'all and talk some college football. Well, nobody ever let me talk college football, man. I get crammed NFL all week long. They let me talk college football the last 10 minutes of every show or something. I'd love to come talk some college football with y'all, man.
You're an SEC guy. You might not like some of my takes.
That's fine, bro. I'm a realist. I'm a real SEC fan. I'm not one of those idiots. Like I actually know what's going on out there.
But yeah,
Thank Nice. Beautiful. Go subscribe to these things. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Best of luck with your wagers and your lineups and your DFS this weekend. We'll see you right back here next Sunday morning. Same bat time, same bat station. The Fantasy Sports Corporation.